question that I'm asked all the time, especially by new raw feeding pet parents, is my dog drinking enough water? I've noticed that he or she isn't drinking as much as they used to. And yes, your dog is getting enough water, and here's why. Your raw-fed dog is getting water from a natural source when they eat. That is the raw meat. There's moisture in that meat that they're eating, and they're absorbing all the nutrients and that moisture whenever they are eating their meal. That is an amazing thing, to get all that natural, great source of energy, nutrients, and moisture from their food. That is much different from dogs who are fed a kibble diet, because kibble is highly processed, and it is processed at high heat levels to suck any moisture out of the food, because kibble manufacturers want to make sure that the kibble can stay on the shelf for a long time. And that is one of the red flags about feeding kibble. But that is for another time. Anyway, so your dog won't be drinking as much water on a raw-fed diet, and that's perfectly fine. Of course, you want to make sure that your dog isn't dehydrated, and you can always add in things like bone broth or even some coconut water in small amounts over the food to make sure that your dog is getting extra hydration, especially in hot months. To see if your dog is dehydrated, you can do a couple different things. You can make sure that your dog is staying hydrated by checking their gums. So you peel back their lip, you check their gums, make sure that they're bright pink, and you can also press down on the gum itself. And if it bounces back to a bright, beautiful pink, then your dog is definitely hydrated. If your dog's gum is slow to get back to that pink or stays white, then your dog could probably use a little bit more hydration. You can also check by pulling up their fur by their neck and seeing if it bounces back quickly. If the fur bounces back quickly, they're hydrated. If it's slower, then they might need some more fluids. Now, if your dog is severely dehydrated, panting and lethargic, and needs hydration, what are you going to do? You do not go online and ask a random person. No, you call your vet, you call your emergency vet, and you get your dog in to be seen ASAP. These tips that I'm giving you on how to check for your dog's hydration are just precautionary. They're if you're curious if your raw-fed dog needs more hydration on a day-to-day basis. If your dog is dehydrated, that is not something that you want to mess with if it's serious. Lastly, dogs drinking less water because they are raw-fed is actually one of the benefits that I find as a raw feeder. I love the fact that my dogs will not gorge themselves on water like they did when they were on kibble many years ago. They were not enjoying their food. They were bloated, dehydrated, they had gas as a result. All those things were working against their systems instead of for their system. The raw food works for their system, and it shows because they aren't being dehydrated by the food that they're eating. Kibble will always dehydrate your dog, so you're always going to have to make sure you have tons of water. Now, you should always keep water available to your dogs anyway, but for example, my dog Hudson, he only drinks water at 10 o'clock at night. For whatever reason, he will go all day without drinking any water, and then at 10 o'clock at night, he drinks a bunch then. I don't know why. He likes to do it that way. He's healthy. I'm fine with it. The moral of the story is that every dog is an individual. When you feed your dog a diet of fresh, natural foods that are intended for your dog, you will see positive changes. One of those positive changes is your dog won't be dehydrated anymore because they're getting moisture from the food. And here is how much a dog should be drinking in a day. So if you're worried your dog isn't getting as much water as you think that they need or is as needed and recommended, then there's things you can do, like again, incorporating bone broth or some coconut water. Those things can help. But if you're a raw feeder and you're noticing that your dog is drinking less water, that is okay, and you shouldn't be worried about it. Just keep an eye out, and I guarantee you'll find other amazing things that happen to your dog's health because of the raw diet. For more tips about dog health, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel.